nestled between the decree of a 40-year postponement for the entry into Eretz Canaan and the incident involving the Mahapilim, the text informs us of the death of the Meraglim. Pasuk 37, with some shuffling, states that Ha'anashim motzi dibat ha'aretz ra'ah, that the men who slandered the land, presumably referring to the 10 Meraglim, Vayamutu, died b'magefa, in a plague. This was a plague that was Lifnei Hashem. The statement Lifnei Hashem is somewhat superfluous, and there is midrashic activity that justifies its inclusion. The information in Pasuk 37 is quite straightforward, except for the fact that it comes with an introduction. And at face value, the information contained in that introduction, Pasuk 36, would appear to add nothing to Pasuk 37. In other words, we would lose nothing were Pasuk 36 not included in the narrative. And in fact, it upsets the narrative flow. Before looking at Pasuk Lamed Vav, we should touch upon the continuation of Lamed Zayin 37 and the contrast that it establishes between the 10 Meraglim on the one hand and Yeshua and Kalev on the other.
And as we noted with respect to Pasuk 36, that a case can be made for its elimination, similarly it might be suggested that the follow-on Pasuk dealing with Kalev and Yeshua is also redundant. First, Pasuk Lamed Vav, and I shall be using the Kaplan translation, in which the Pasuk states, V'ha'anashim asher shalach Moshe latur et haaretz, the men whom Moshe sent to explore the land, and vayashuvu vayalinu alav et kol ha'eda, and returned and complained about it to the entire community, lahotzi diba al haaretz, slandering the entire land. The text goes on to inform us as to what happened to these people, that vayamutu b'magefa lefnei Hashem. They perished, they died in a plague before God. There is a certain degree of jaggedness between 36 and 37, and Kaplan takes the liberty of making two changes in his translation. Firstly, Kaplan inserts a phrase to round out Pasuk 36, that these people who complained and slandered were punished immediately. Kaplan also makes another slight change, and that is et kol ha'ida. He translates as to the entire congregation. The group returned with an evil report which they presented to the entire congregation. A better option, however, would have been to conflate Pasuk 37 into Pasuk 36, firstly appending the word Vayamutu to the beginning of Pasuk 36, Vayamutu ha'anashim asher shalach Moshe latur et haaretz, and secondly, taking the last three words of 37, B'magefa lefnei Hashem, and tacking them onto, as Kaplan does, to the conclusion of 36, that these people died in a magefa before God. In this way, we can eliminate the entire Pasuk 37. And on account of this superfluous Pasuk, there is also midrashic activity that reads additional information into this Pasuk. We then move on to Pasuk Lamed Chet, that informs us that min ha'anashim ha'hem, from those people, ha'hochim latur et haaretz, that departed with the intent to scout the land, Yehoshua and Kalev chayu. Two of the group, Yehoshua and Kalev, remained alive. In other words, they did not die in this magefa lifnei Hashem. One might argue that this pasuk is also superfluous, in that obviously only those who slandered the land died in the magefa. Clearly from the text, Yehoshua and Kalev did not slander the land, and hence it would be self-evident that they did not die along with the other 10 Meraglim. With this introduction, we can now move on to the Sikha that focuses upon Rashi's commentary to BAMIDBAR Perek 14, Pasuk 36, Vayashuvu Vayalinu Alav.